Welcome to our new lesson, which is logical reasoning. What is logical reasoning? Logical reasoning, or just logic for short, is one of the fundamental skills of effective thinking. So ito ay isang bahagi ng isang mahusay at maayos na pag-iisip. Okay? It works by raising questions like, if this is true, what else must be true? If this is true, what else is probably true? If this isn't true, what else can't be true? These are all inferences. So when we say inferences, ito yung parang nagiging kasagutan sa mga katanungan o solusyon sa mga problema. They are connections between a given sentence, the premise. Premise is usually also called as the hypothesis. Ito yung parang nagiging opinion mo o yung haka-haka mo. And some other sentence, the conclusion. Conclusion is usually the solution or the result of from an input. So that will be an output. Conclusion may be synonymous to an output. Inferences are the basic building blocks of logical reasoning, and there are strict rules governing what counts as a valid inference and what doesn't. Okay? May mga kailangan tayong sundin ng mga rule pagdating sa pagbubuo ng reasoning, okay? O sa pagre-reason. It's a lot like math, but applied to sentences rather than numbers. So this time, hindi tayo magpo-focus masyado sa mga numbers or computation. Magpo-focus tayo more on words and sentences. And of course, reasoning. Part of logical reasoning is the hypothesis. Hypothesis is a supposition or proposed explanation made on the basis of limited evidence as a starting point for further investigation. So parang ito yung panimulang, kumbaga sa isang salita, ito yung parang parirala. Hindi pa to buo, hindi pa to konkreto. So kailangan pa tong duktungan para maging isang buong pangungusap. Ito ay kailangan ng suporta. Ito yung parang paunang ideya mo o paunang salita mo o paunang pangungusap mo na nangangailangan pa ng suporta. Okay? And this is the supporting statement or the conclusion, a judgment or decision reached by reasoning. So magre-reason ka from your hypothesis, magre-reason ka, magkakaroon ka ng output. So that will be called the conclusion. So ito yung another part ng logical reasoning. So dalawa lamang yan. It's hypothesis and the conclusion. Now, let us identify which phrase or word makes the statement false. State the reason. Then after that, we're going to identify which from the given statement is the hypothesis and the conclusion. The first statement is, if Joseph was born on July 2000, then he must be 15 years old this August 2015. So the answer for this one is, it is true. Why? Because Joseph was born on July 2000. So after July, that will be August, 'di ba? Sa isang taon. Ang buwan ng July, ang kasunod na buwan ay August. June, July, August, right? Now, pinanganak siya ng July 2000. Then pwede nating i-assume na 15 years old na siya sa August 2015. Tama, 'di ba? So, this statement is true. In this statement, if Joseph was born on July 2000, so Joseph was born on July 2000, that is the hypothesis. Parang opinion pa lang siya. Okay? So, ano yung magsusupport sa kanya at ano yung magiging hypothesis natin? He must be 15 years old this August 2015. So, that will be your hypothesis. Next statement. If the planets revolve around the sun, then the planets are the center of the universe. The answer is false because the sun is the center of the solar system. Okay? So if the planets revolve around the sun, so that is your hypothesis. The planets revolve around the sun. So parang kapos pa, 'di ba? Parang hindi pa complete yung thought. So yung magiging supporting mo diyan or your hypothesis will be the planets are the center of the universe. Pero nag-false itong statement na to. So later explain ko sa inyo kung bakit may mga reasoning na nagpo-false at true. Next, if Rose and Joanne are classmates, then they are friends. So this statement is false. Why? Hindi lahat na magkaklase ay magkaibigan at hindi lahat na magkaibigan ay magkaklase. So iyan ang isang magandang rason kung bakit itong statement na to ay false. So the hypothesis here is Rose and Joanne are classmates. Tapos ang ibibigay mong hypothesis ay they are friends. So, dahil doon, nag-false yung statement. If Alex eats only vegetables and fruits to maintain his diet, then he is vegetarian. Si Alex ay kumakain lamang ng gulay at ng prutas para daw ma-maintain yung diet niya. Then, mas pwede na ba natin sabihin na vegetarian siya? Mhm. Okay, so this statement is false kasi hindi naman lahat na nagme-maintain ng kanyang diet ay vegetable lang and fruit ang kinakain. Okay, so hindi natin siya pwedeng masabi na siya ay vegetarian. Okay? So the hypothesis here is Alex eats only vegetables and fruits to maintain his diet. Then the conclusion here is he is vegetarian. Next, if an archipelago is a group of lands surrounded by water, then Philippines is an archipelago. So based from this statement, this statement is true. Why? Because an archipelago is a group of lands surrounded by water. So this is a fact, okay? So this is a fact statement. So that is the hypothesis. An archipelago is a group of lands surrounded by water. Now, your hypothesis will be then Philippines is an archipelago. Philippines is an archipelago. So that is also a fact. So statement is true. Let's now move to another example. Hypothesis, conclusion, if-then statement. So there's a given statement that we're going to identify its hypothesis, the conclusion, and then we're going to change the given statement into if and then statement, or what we call the conditional statement. So number one is cigarette smoking is dangerous to your health. So we can assume that the hypothesis here is cigarette smoking is dangerous. Then your conclusion will be smoking is dangerous to your health. So something like that na medyo nakaka-confuse, 'di ba? Bakit parang kailangan natin mag-add ng words dun sa hypothesis statement natin tsaka sa conclusion statement natin para mabuo siya. So kumukuha lang naman tayo ng thought mula dun sa given statement para makapagbigay tayo ng complete hypothesis and complete conclusion. Now, if you're going to write it into if and then statement, pwede naman talaga mag-add ng mga additional words or mag-add ng words or